Lesson 5. Who are we? In this lesson, we are going to talk about what might probably be the most important lesson in understanding how to awaken to greater love and joy. In this lesson, we are going to learn about who we are. Before diving into the discussion, we would like to first say that this lesson is the most fundamental part in understanding how to awaken to love and enjoyment. All the lessons you've learned so far are basically concepts about the truth to help you prepare to this very lesson here in this video. This part of this course, for some people, can be the toughest part of this course to master. The reason why it is tough is because some people may have a hard time believing this concept. It is because it will challenge many things they currently believe. Don't feel discouraged. Don't feel discouraged if you have trouble believing it or even have a hard time understanding it. It may take some time, but you will master it if you are determined. If you understand and fully believe this concept of this lesson completely when you're done with this video, then congratulations. You've pretty much learned the entire course. You have completely learned how to awake to love and enjoyment. Well, are you ready to learn what this lesson is? Are you excited? Well, let's begin. Who are we? As you know, we are spirits of consciousness given the ability to experience whatever we choose. We have permanent memories of the past experiences that allow us to make decisions of what we want to experience next. We have learned from the past to choose experiences that are more enjoyable. Currently, we as spirits are experiencing different experiences. Each experience we are experiencing is something we have willingly or unwillingly chose to experience. When we unwillingly chose, we have still chose, but we are just unaware of what we are just unaware of why we did it. It was like an accident, but we still choose it. As we experience, we grow and evolve in the ability to choose to experience more experiences in specific ways. A spirit can choose whatever it wants to experience by simply choosing to. However, this isn't always the case for most spirits. Let me repeat it. A spirit can choose whatever it wants to experience by simply choosing to. However, this isn't always the case for most spirits. Most spirits can only experience specific experiences at specific times and during specific conditions. For example, a spirit living in a human body cannot walk through walls, create food out of thin air, grow wings, or create a Mustang without being an engineer that owns a large machine shop. A spirit in truth can create and experience whatever it wants at any specific time. Literally, a spirit can pretty much create anything out of thin air, in a way. If a spirit in truth is really God, and it has the God-given ability to experience whatever it wants at any given time, then why do many spirits, such as ones connected to the human bodies on earth, can't? Why can't we just create whatever we want? Well, the answer to this question basically sums up this lesson and sums up the whole entire course. The answer to this question is the answer in how to fully awaken to love and enjoyment. Okay, let's talk about what the answer is. As spirits, we are currently conditioned to believe that we are limited in form and ability. We are currently conditioned to believe that we are only a human and that humans can only do what a human is supposed to do. Eat, sleep, breathe, hit a wall, not cross a wall, swim in water, and not be able to fly. But in truth, we are much more than that. We are much more than just a human. We are spirit. We are spirits that can create and experience whatever we want at any given time. This, in a nutshell, is the reason why we can only experience certain things at certain times, and why we are able to awaken to love and enjoyment. We just simply believe that we can. Now let's get deeper into this concept. If you have the ability to experience the taste of an apple then this means part of you is that apple. If you have the ability to experience what it's like to be a human, then part of you is a human. If you have the ability to experience whatever you want, then that means you have the ability to be intelligent or all-knowing. If you have the ability to be all-knowing, then you are all-knowing too. If you have the ability to experience joy and love at all time, then you are also that too. Whatever you experience means you are that experience too. How can you experience something if you aren't that? Do you see where I'm getting at here now? If we have the ability to experience everything, then we are everything. So basically, since we have the ability to experience and create everything, then that means we are everything. So in truth, spirits are also made in the image of God and the universe as well. You as a spirit are made in the image of God in the universe. You are God or the universe. In other words, you are potentially connected to the universe in every way. You are unlimited in time, nature, space, feeling, intuition, knowledge, and the infinite amount of other things you can possibly imagine. Since we are made in this image, we have just as much power as God has. You as spirit is infinitely powerful, so powerful. This is why you can create or experience whatever you want at any given time. Your belief is your only limit. The reason why you can't create and experience whatever you want right now is simply because you don't believe you can. This belief is not true. It is instead an illusion because in truth, you can. Now, you may be wondering, why don't I believe this now? What happened? The answer to this question is that sometime in the past, you simply stopped believing that you can experience whatever you want. You started believing that experiences only happen during certain conditions. You started believing you suddenly stopped believing you can't walk through walls. You started believing that you can't walk through walls, that you can't fly, you can't travel in the past or future, you can't turn water into wine, and that you can only be happy and experience pleasure only during certain conditions. But in truth, you can do all these things. Well, this pretty much sums this lesson. This is awakening to love and enjoyment in a nutshell. You are now probably thinking, man, this sounds silly. This is bull. You are probably struggling. The reason why you are thinking this is because you are probably struggling to believe that this is really true. If you feel this way, this is perfectly normal. This is the reason why you are feeling this way, is because the reason why you are feeling this way is because you have been believing this condition for a very, very, very long time. Like a habit that you've had for a long time where you are suddenly now trying to break. You are having a hard time believing this to be true because you didn't believe this was true for a very long time, and so it formed a habit. You have believed this not to be true for many, many, many incarnations of previous lifetimes and semi-limited realities in between caused by you believing this. It is only natural to resist this idea when you've been believing it for so long. However, just know that this is true, even if it doesn't seem like it right now. Just remember, the more you try to work on believing it, the more you will. The more you put your focus on something, the stronger it will become. It is possible to completely believe it right now, but most likely it is going to take some time and work. From now on, we will call this process of believing in this truth as awakening to the truth, or awakening to greater love and enjoyment. This course also calls this awakening. This course is basically, the two names of this course is basically the same thing. And we will use these two names interchangeably. We are also going to call the opposite of this, believe in the current condition of believing that we can only create and experience things only in certain conditions, as simply illusion, not believing in the truth, not awakening to truth, or staying in illusion and suffering. The next lessons are now simply going to introduce some tools that will help make your process now of believing this lesson discussed here quicker and easier. These lessons will include further explorations about God and the universe, your limited conditions, and tips how to rise above. Hence, just simply learning this lesson discussed in this video here. This next lesson in the next video, which will make this lesson easier, is going to talk about why we have initially believed that we can't experience everything.